And when did we start calling them emoji instead of emoticon? I really don't like the word emoji. I've always called them emoticon for like my entire life. And I don't even know how to use them. Like, people are sitting there using emojis on like Twitter and stuff. I don't have access to that stuff. Do you have to install crap like the 90s? Like, are we going back to 1990s, early 2000s smiley packs where you gotta install like custom smileys and cursors and get a bunch of viruses? Like, alright. So I gotta be careful what I say here. And first, may I ask what network you transferred to? But AdSense and MCNs. It's not that there's a benefit that AdSense gives you over MCNs, other than they actually file their tax stuff right, which Freedom does not do, which makes having to file your own taxes a royal pain in the butt when you are completely working on untaxed income. But MCNs provide a layer of benefits over top of AdSense. So by default, everyone's channel works on AdSense. That's how they make ad revenue. That's how it works.
Ambush that motherfucker.
But then
UAV ready for deployment.
But then MCNs come along, and they offer the ability to give you extra benefits in exchange for a cut of your AdSense earnings. So normally it starts at like a 60-40 split, and then you can make more up from there. But essentially, by taking your money, they can give you extra benefits like music libraries, extra support, things like that. But in doing so, they're taking a cut of your AdSense revenue. So YouTube already splits up your earnings between themselves and you as a 50-50-ish split. And then your MCN's taking another cut of that in exchange for whatever benefits they may provide you. There's some people that are horridly against this because they feel their MCN doesn't provide them enough and they'd rather just have AdSense. And I'm at a point where I don't want to be locked into their music networks and stuff, and I'm taking my channels to AdSense only to keep more money because I need to be able to keep more money to do this full time, and I can get royalty-free music anywhere. The reason they became so popular in the first place was because they were originally ran by big companies like Machinima and Maker Studios and Fullscreen. They were the big three that started it all, and they were able to protect you against copyright issues with video games. Video games were pretty much the only reason anyone needed a network back in the day, was because you pretty much could not monetize video games without a network to say that it was okay. Nowadays, that's not true at all, and so networks are literally there to provide you with an extra layer of support. Now, this can be really good. Like, for example, my gaming channel, which ironically is going to be the first one that I take to AdSense, it had an issue where a bunch of videos kept getting false flagged as being violating the guidelines, misleading, etc., and taken down. And since that's happened multiple times before, at which point Fullscreen completely ignored me and would not help me, since it happened multiple times before, the channel was actually taken down. But I sent an email to Fullscreen when that happened, and within like 5 minutes of my email being sent, my channel was reinstated. Because they have contacted Google, they have decent support, and they just said, hey, what's up with this? That's not right. And Google reinstated my channel. As an individual creator, there's no way in hell you can do that. Creators do not have access to Google for support. And so we're pretty much screwed in that regard. So networks can be very useful for people who need help.
Kill their Overwatch.
And if you join a small network with like a serious dedicated team, they can actually help you out a lot in terms of developing your channel, building a brand, etc. Because they can actually offer, you know, one-on-one support to tell you what you need to do with your channel to make it grow, make it successful, set you up with collaborations, give you, you know, give you brand deals, things like that. But that generally only happens if A, you're a huge channel, at which point you're probably already set up, or B, you're in a really small network, that's just going to naturally help you out. 23-9. What up? So that's basically AdSense versus networks. 90-10 is a good split. Last I heard, though, Curse doesn't actually have rights to monetize by AdSense anymore, so their overall CPMs and ad rates are actually really low. It's not verified. I don't know how accurate that is. That was just something I had heard but last time I was looking into them. Hopefully that's not still true. But yeah. Curse is a pretty cool network overall, though, so it's definitely a good choice overall. And yeah, no, the only way I was actually bringing my main channel over to Freedom when it got released from RPM was by me getting a 95-5 split. So my main channel has a 95-5. And so that's why I've not worried about leaving networks or anything, because I'm keeping all but 5% of my ad revenue, and that's well worth it for the music libraries. Like, that is plenty worth it. But I want to make sure my stuff's kind of independent, so that's part of it as well. But at the moment, I keep pretty much all my ad revenue. But a network I actually am interested in terms of just what they're doing and stuff like that, and I actually sent contact to them about setting up my channel with it, is CNanners' network that they're working on with 3 Black Dot, which is the company that he built with, like, Tom Syndicate and things like that. I forgot what it's called now. Jetpack. They have a really cool system in which you keep 100% of your ad revenue by itself, but then you pay for what services they actually offer you. So instead of them just keeping your money, whether or not they do your service, whether or not they provide you a service, which is how most networks work, you actually pay for the services. And so, like, the basic plan starts out at $10 a month. You pay $10 a month for, like, basic support and features and things like that, and then you can pay, like, they have a super premium plan that's like $300 a month that I have to imagine only, like, channels CNanners' size himself could actually afford from their YouTube earnings to just throw that away. But then they can set him up with, like, big brand deals and stuff. And so I've actually been talking to them a bit, because I'm kind of interested in that, and I'm just interested in what they're doing, and hell, I'd love to go work for them. They seem like a pretty cool group of dudes. But they're not actually started yet, because I went to ask about joining and stuff a while back, and they gave me all the information I want to know, and they confirmed that they actually do their taxes properly, because that's been my big issue with Freedom, and they said they do, but then they said they're not actually able to monetize channels yet, so pretty much CNanners and Syndicate's channels are the only channels in the network. But I am interested in following their company to see where that goes. At the moment, they're mainly, like, making games and movies and crap, which is fine. It's just, I wanted to mention the network because it's certainly something to keep an eye out for. But that also, you got to have a channel that has $10 a month to throw away for a network, which to me, that's actually cheaper than the 95-5 split that I have. So for my channel, that's literally, I'd be making more money at their network with that than staying with the 95-5 split, despite how high that split is. Unfortunately, you have to pay that per channel. So I can't just pay the $10 a month and partner all my channels with them. It's got to be $10 per channel. And since the other channels I have are nowhere near making even $10 a month on their own, nevertheless $10 a month that I can throw away, it's not my ultimate solution right now. He said they were looking into it. If they develop a program or way for me to just bring over all my channels for even just like a little bit more a month, totally down with it. But can't be having to pay $10 a month on a channel that literally doesn't earn $10 a month, which is my vlog channel, my Pokemon channel. What other channels do I have? The Co-op Gaming channel. So once those get bigger, I can reconsider. But for now, those will stay in Freedom. So that's my spiel. Oh. I'm still alive. I just want to point that out. Now I'm not.
In the turn, sensors are capture your objective.
So that's my spiel on networks and AdSense, and that ends it. I'm gonna highlight that out so I can put it up and as its own kind of video. I've been wanting to make a video on partnerships and stuff, but again, I gotta be careful what I say. Does Curse have a payment threshold? Like, do they only pay you if you make a certain amount? For a while, paying you whatever you earn, even if it's under 50 or 100, used to be only a Freedom thing, but other networks have become more lenient with it, so I don't know what networks do that nowadays. It was like one of the good positive changes Freedom had was getting people to get their butts in line with that.
Threat neutralized.
AdSense makes you wait for $100, but it doesn't make networks wait, so networks making partners wait. It's kind of counterproductive. So if they're already going to have to wait, then they can just wait in AdSense and get a direct deposit. Okay, so you get paid whenever you earn it. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of possibility for networking opportunities in networks and meeting people and doing collaborations. Freedom's a good example in that there's always people to talk to, like there's always an active community. It doesn't always seem like that with other networks. Like in full screen, I never felt like I had that opportunity like I do here at Freedom. It never felt that way. And that can be important. And also people just don't always see it. Like I probably just don't see what there is to do for that at full screen, and that's my problem. And people don't take advantage of the benefits, and so a lot of complaints people have about networks are simply their own issues, but that is one good benefit, is a community that, you know, you can talk to people, you can get feedback, you can network and collaborate and things like that. So that's part of it too. I'm gonna write down